From the opening whistle, Real Madrid tried to establish themselves high up the pitch. Their attacking structure depended on quick combinations and movement between the lines. Kylian Mbappé was naturally one of the central figures. His ability to stretch the defensive line meant Real Sociedad had to constantly think about the space behind them. But Real Sociedad were disciplined. Instead of allowing Madrid to dictate everything, they worked hard to close passing lanes and force Madrid into wider areas. Whenever Real Madrid attempted to accelerate through the middle, Sociedad tried to compress the space. That made the opening stages more tactical than spectacular. Madrid had the quality, but Sociedad had the organization. As the first half developed, the visitors became increasingly confident. Their midfield began finding opportunities to move the ball forward, and their attacking players started testing Madrid's defensive structure. Then came the breakthrough. Minute 40, Mbappé strikes in the 40th minute. Kylian Mbappé found the breakthrough for Real Madrid. The goal demonstrated exactly why Mbappé is such a difficult player to contain. The important element was not simply the finish, it was the movement that created the opportunity. Mbappé constantly threatens defenders with his pace, and even a small amount of space can become dangerous when he receives the ball in an advanced position. At 1-0, Real Madrid appeared to have taken control. The stadium responded, the tempo increased, and Madrid suddenly had the advantage they had been searching for. But Real Sociedad refused to collapse, and that response was one of the most important aspects of the match. Minute 44, Suchik levels the game just 4 minutes after Madrid's opener. Luka Suchik scored for Real Sociedad in the 44th minute. That changed the entire emotional atmosphere of the match. Madrid had worked hard to create the lead, but Sociedad immediately demonstrated that they could punish any lapse in concentration. Suchik's goal was particularly significant because of its timing. A goal just before halftime can change the psychological balance completely. Instead of entering the dressing room with Real Madrid ahead and full of confidence, both teams went into the break level at 1-1. For Real Sociedad, it was a huge boost. For Real Madrid, it was a warning. The first half had shown that possession alone would not be enough. Madrid needed sharper execution, better defensive concentration, and greater consistency in the final third. Second half, Madrid raised the intensity. The second half began with a different sense of urgency. Real Madrid understood that the match was no longer simply about maintaining control. They needed to regain the initiative. Their attacking movement became more aggressive. Instead of waiting for opportunities to develop slowly, Madrid looked to move the ball forward more quickly. Their forwards began attacking spaces earlier, while midfield players pushed higher to support the attack. Real Sociedad, however, continued to make the match uncomfortable. They defended in numbers when necessary and looked for opportunities to transition quickly. This created an interesting tactical battle. Whenever Madrid attacked, Sociedad had to decide whether to press the ball or protect the space behind their defensive line. Whenever Sociedad recovered possession, Madrid had to immediately react to prevent dangerous counterattacks. The match became a battle of transitions. Minute 60, Mbappé again, then came the decisive moment. In the 60th minute, Kylian Mbappé scored again, putting Real Madrid back in front at 2-1. This was more than just another goal. It was the moment that ultimately separated the two sides. Mbappé's second goal showed his ability to influence a match when the pressure is highest. After Sociedad had fought their way back into the game, Madrid needed an attacking player capable of changing the situation. Mbappé delivered. The score was now Real Madrid 2, Real Sociedad 1. And from that point, the tactical priorities changed. The final phase, with the advantage restored, Real Madrid became more focused on managing the game. They did not necessarily need to attack with the same level of risk as before. Their priority shifted toward controlling the rhythm and protecting the lead. Real Sociedad, meanwhile, had to take more chances. That meant pushing more players forward and committing additional numbers into attacking areas. This created both opportunity and danger. Sociedad needed an equalizer, but every additional player committed forward potentially created space for Madrid to exploit. Real Madrid could now threaten on the counterattack. Mbappé became particularly important because his pace meant Sociedad could never completely throw caution to the wind. Every time Madrid recovered the ball, there was the possibility of an immediate transition. This forced Sociedad to balance desperation with defensive responsibility. Why Real Madrid won? So what ultimately decided the match? The simplest answer is efficiency in decisive moments. Real Sociedad competed extremely well and managed to respond quickly after Mbappé's first goal, but Real Madrid had the player who could make the difference. Mbappé scored twice and both goals were crucial. The first gave Madrid the initial advantage. The second restored the lead after Sociedad had equalized. That ability to respond when the match demanded it was perhaps the biggest difference between the teams, but it would be unfair to describe this victory as only an individual performance. Madrid's structure also played an important role. Their ability to move the ball into dangerous areas, create space for their attackers, and increase the intensity after halftime helped them regain control. Real Sociedad's positive performance despite the defeat, Real Sociedad can take plenty of positives from the match. They did not allow Real Madrid to dominate from start to finish. They responded immediately after going behind. Suchik's equalizer showed their ability to remain mentally strong, and their midfield organization caused Madrid problems at different stages. The biggest issue was probably maintaining that level of resistance after the second Madrid goal. Once Real Madrid regained the lead, Sociedad had to chase the match. That changed the tactical balance. They were forced to take greater risks while Madrid could focus on protecting their advantage. The bigger picture, this 2-1 result demonstrates why La Liga matches between technically strong teams can be decided by small margins. Real Madrid had periods of control. Real Sociedad had moments of pressure. Mbappé produced the decisive goals. Suchik provided the response. And ultimately, Madrid's ability to regain the advantage and manage the final stages secured the 3 points. The scoreline of 2-1 suggests a close contest, and that is exactly what the match became. It was not a one-sided performance. It was a match built around momentum. Madrid struck first, Sociedad answered, Madrid struck again, and this time Sociedad could not find another equalizer. Final verdict: when we look at the complete 90 minutes, Real Madrid's victory can be explained through 3 major factors: attacking quality, decisive finishing, and game management. Kylian Mbappé was unquestionably the headline figure with 2 goals. Luka Suchik gave Real Sociedad belief with his equalizer just before halftime. But after Mbappé's second goal in the 60th minute, Real Madrid demonstrated the maturity required to protect the result. The final whistle confirmed it: Real Madrid 2, Real Sociedad 1. It was a competitive La Liga encounter, a match filled with momentum swings, and a game where individual quality made the difference at crucial moments. And that is what makes football so fascinating. One goal can change the mood, one defensive mistake can change the momentum, and one world-class player can decide the outcome. If you enjoyed this detailed match analysis, follow the channel, like this video, subscribe to Better Life TV, and comment below with your thoughts. Who impressed you the most in this match, Kylian Mbappé, Luka Suchik, or another player? Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more football analysis, match stories, and La Liga content.